Okay, it's time for today's CSS Battle. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Okay, 57, 107, so 50, give or take. What's that? 80, if that's not 130, we've got a problem. I don't think they're perfect circles on the outside. So this could get slightly interesting. Okay, what should we start with? Let's try that. We'll change this colour to that, to the blue. Now let's click on diff so that we can see what's going on, and we'll leave that as red for now. Margin 40, 70 maybe. Right, 40 is not enough. 60 is good. 60 and 60 looks actually okay, which probably means I can get away with just doing that. Okay. Let's start with a linear gradient for the middle. Make it transparent for, we're going to call that 55. Maybe call that 60. 60 to 175, so 115. And then this color for what? 40 pixels, so 155, and then transparent. And of course this needs to be at 90 degrees. Okay, so 165, 165, beautiful. And then we've just got those two curves to do something about. I'm still not entirely sure that they are proper circles, but we'll do radial gradient 1q to make it a circle. Now that's going to be quite a high circle if it is a circle. So let's go with transparent for 100 pixels, and then we'll go with the yellow for 160 pixels, and then transparent again. Right, let's have a look at what that did. Yeah, that's not big enough. 130 looks, and then shift it over by 50 pixels and 0. Where are we now? pixels. Might be a little tiny bit smaller. Let's try 125. 120. Maybe 110. No, it's taller. Let's temporarily go to that. Let's make that huger. That looks like the right inside line. Let's do no repeat on it. Okay. Let's, instead of that, use an at. Now then, we probably want to be about 200 pixels over. Okay. Well, that looks fairly close. That was just a guess. So let's copy that. We'll sort out the problems with this in a minute. And then maybe minus 200 pixels. Minus 100 pixels. Minus 180. No. How about 100? How about 80? How about... that looks like it still needs to shift that way a bit. 20, 30, 40. Let's just do a diff. 60, 70, 80. That looks fairly good to me. Okay, and then let's hit submit, see how close we are. Well, that is 100% match, so that is that. So can I shorten this by a chunk? Probably can. So let's take this bit. We'll make that called colors. Let's save us a few characters, but not as many as we'd like. Is there any way that we could make that any tighter than that? Could do this with 3 elements as well. We'll try that in a minute. Because we now at least know what that radius is going to be. Let's minify it and unit replace it. And that is a reasonable score for starting out. Let's go back to a let's go to a element template. We should still have that in here. So we do that. Let's do this quite. That blue, then to okay. Let's take out the second P for a minute. And the width 100 is too much. Make that 80. Then we want this to have a radial gradient, 1Q at 200 pixels. And this bit. And that matches nicely. We'll give this a margin 0. Now what is this actual height? 60 to 240, so 180. Nice. Uh, 0, 0 minus 180. No. Just leave that at 0. Okay, now we do second P. Plus P. Margin minus 180. And 180. And scale minus 1. Oop, let's put the colon in. So that would be those two P's. That looks reasonably good. We take out this orange. We make this one linear gradient. Transparent. For, what did I say this was? 6175, 115. Yellow 155. Transparent 0. Also remember to put it at 90 degrees. That might be 165 then. Add in some colour stop. Now quite why that has decided that it needs to extend like that, I do not know. Although my guess is because it's stacked the two elements together and the margin is what's currently doing us in, we could just do position absolute, and then we can get rid of this margin and just go left 180 pixels, a bit more than that. Okay, beautiful. And that should give us everything again. Let's hit submit and see what happens. Okay, that is valid. Now let's take out some bits that we don't need. Keep those, keep that. Minify, unit replace. That's going to be longer than my previous solution, so that's not great. But could we do it with 3 paragraphs and cut out on a linear gradient? That is, I think that's what I'm going to try. So let's put a semicolon and a plus P for the third one. Set its background to just this color. Set its width to 50 and set its left to 100. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Its width is too widthy. That's still going to be longer than the previous. Let's take out this linear gradient. Okay. Now go 50, 40, 30. Not 340, 30. 20, 30, 40. Where is that? Okay, that's too thin. Let's make that 6, 50, 175. Beautiful. Hit submit. Then do unify, unit replace. Yeah, it's still longer than my initial solution, say. Let's take that and that out. Oop. And do that. Takes out another couple of characters. I suspect I could do it with clip path, but that'll get messy quickly. What happens if I do a star here? That still works. We're close to my best score, which just uses radial gradients and a linear gradient. But yeah. Could I do this any other way? Could I might be able to use one conic gradient with two colors rather than the linear gradient on the background. So let's go back to the highest scoring, which is somewhere around about there. Where's this linear gradient here? What happens if, well, hang on, before we do anything else, what happens if I just take those three bits out, because that'll get me a better score anyway. Right, so we've already got a better score. Now we want to replace this linear gradient with, let's use a conic, not comic, conic gradient of the yellow for 50% and then transparent. Right. Now then I want to do an at of 115 and 50%. That will get us that into the right place, and then we want to do zero movement, and 100 pixels wide is not going to be wide enough. 200 pixels wide is too much. How about 160? It's going to be 170, isn't it? 165? 165. That saves us one whole character. And if we're very lucky, some of those units will get replaced. 55 VH is good. 115 pixels we're stuck with, but never mind. Uh, 115 pixels, right? 100 pixels is 106Q. So let's see if we can do this in Q. $122Q looks Looks good on the diff. That'll save us a whole nother character again. Ooh, but it doesn't like it. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.